Roll Tide, everybody. Bama is on what they call a heater, a recruiting heater, bringing in some of the biggest prospects in college football, a couple of 5 stars, a rising star from right in Tuscaloosa, a tight end from Illinois. We got all that to talk about right here on the Bama Tailgate Show, brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Dancing Rabbit Golf Course is the Augusta you can play, and it's an hour and a half from T-Town, 2 and change from Birmingham. All right, let's get this thing going. We got a lot to talk about on the show today, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, just like they are in the Alabama football building. Roll Tide. All right, there he is. We know him as Shank, Alphonse Taylor. 2-time national champion at Alabama, and and also part of a Joe Moore award-winning offensive line in 2015. I'm Mick Gillespie. Welcome to the channel. It was hard doing the show yesterday without you because there was so much to talk about. I was like, man, I can't wait until we get back together and get into all this. But Bama's been on an absolute heater right now. 2 5-star guys. They're fighting Texas money off. And Xavier Griffin picks Bama. Mom played hoops there, decommitted from USC, and Texas was after him with the cash, but somehow Bama ends up with another 5-star. I'm excited about having this linebacker in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I feel like Sarkisian don't want to let that pipeline go, man. He's all down here in our Kool-Aid. He spent a little time down here. He knows the type of guys we get, man, and he's definitely trying to dig his claws in. I respect it. I get it, but you got to back off, man. We need our guys. We need our
Get out of
guys.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, that's a huge pickup for us. Huge pickup. Especially people worried about the recruiting class, man. It's not going as fast as people hoped it would, and then just boom, right there out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? 3 big time guys, man, and that's huge.
Yeah,
And
big one.
that is huge.
He goes to Gainesville High School, linebacker at 6'3", 205. He can fly to the football. Obviously has the Bama ties. My mom played hoops in Tuscaloosa at Alabama. Grandfather still lives there. So when you make decisions in life, and this was a question that I thought was tailor-made for you, right?
Right.
Sometimes you make these decisions based on family because sometimes you can't take back time, right? And you
Right.
get this much time to spend with your family.
Right.
And it would probably be great to have the extra cash in Austin, but you're not going to get to spend that time with your grandfather.
Yeah, and just think about that, man. His family will never miss a game. They right there in the backyard. They'll never miss a game. He just started he could probably start a family tradition and he don't even know it. He's a legacy kid. Like, how dope is that? Your mom played basketball at the university, and now here you go. And that's something that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. One day if he decides to have kids and they go play at Alabama, they'll be talking about him. Well, this kid's dad used to play at the University of Alabama, and his mom played at the University of Alabama as well. And just to start that legacy, man, that's huge. I think that's
So
super
and you
dope.
and you kind of had a similar experience.
Yeah, man. And with me, I was the first to do it. You know, the first to do it. Because my grandma came up during the segregated times, and she remembered when they didn't want us at Alabama, and so she made a big deal out of that, right? Man, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, if I don't start it now, then who's gonna start it? It's like not every day we have kids come up in our family that get the opportunity to go to the University of Alabama, right? And so I was happy to jump in that fire, man, and be a part of that. And my kids think it's super dope. I take them back and they get to see the little piece of the legacy that I have there at Bama. I'm just a small corner in a huge picture, dog. Man, just to have that little piece, nobody can take that from me. My kids think
No.
it's super cool. You know, like my nephew thinks it's cool. He's at that point now where he'll start getting college offers. I mean, damn, he's 6'3", 6'4", 250. And, you know, and he's seen it all. He's done it all, and I'm happy I could start that legacy for my own family, man. So I think that's super dope that he can keep that going, and he'll be able to talk about that with his kids one day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It wasn't really where I was going, but you brought it up, and it's so interesting to think about your grandmother not being able to go, and you being a celebrity at Alabama, you being a two-time national champion, the greatest coach of all time, talking about you in the press conferences every week.
Hey, man.
Everybody knows who Shank is, right? It's really neat, man. I'm sure that in her, like in her mind, just like, wow, how things change so much, you know,
Oh
because
yeah,
you left a
oh yeah,
legacy.
I did, man. And it's just like anybody that was on those teams, man. If you got kids, like take them back to the Walking Champions. Go find your name because that's the dopest shit in the world. And you know, I'm pointing at different plaques on the ground, like, yeah, my name's here, my name's also over here, and it's just like we got multiple championships. You know, like this was the peak, and just it's unexplainable, man. Those are really priceless core memories you create, and obviously you don't think about that when you're just a kid trying to decide where you're going to college, right? But in hindsight, it's a very big decision.
Well, it's a big one for Alabama, and we're not even through the list yet. How about this?
Right.
Zay Hall, Hillcrest High School, just got the offer, like just less than a month ago. But he went to camp and just blew the roof off of Bama's coaching staff. They saw something, you know, Christian Robinson and those guys are like, hey, this dude can play. And that's part of it, man. You develop, right?
Absolutely.
You get bigger and stronger. You get better when you go out there and play. You know, guys just develop, and being at Hillcrest, you don't want this guy going to Virginia Tech, and he's going to get a bunch of offers now that Alabama's offered him. But I love the fact that Zay's like, hey, they gave me the offer. This is where I want to go. I'm not wasting any time. Roll Tide.
Hey, that's the way it should be, man. And, you know, everybody doesn't get that luxury to play the waiting game, to play the money game. You know, like they're grinding, hustling for everything they get. And he went out there and bet on himself and put on a show, and he got what he was looking for, and he stamped it right away. Like I respect it. I respect it. That's what it's about, honestly. And you know, and like you said, you know how that goes. Now that they see Bama wants a kid, now everybody all of a sudden gonna do their homework. And, you know, all the offers gonna start flying in, and I think that's crazy, man. You know how it is. You know, women don't want you until they see a pretty woman with you. Then all the
Is
women
that
want you.
my grandfather? My grandfather and my uncle told me the same thing. They said when you got one, you got 100. When you got
Yeah.
none, you ain't got shit. Is what they used to say.
It's the same thing, man. It's the
Sorry.
same thing. You
I think
know.
it's the same thing with jobs. I've said the same thing with jobs too. When you got one, you got 100, but when you don't got one, you got shit. It's the same thing in recruiting too.
Nah,
Sorry,
no doubt.
guys. It's just it
No
is.
doubt. That's just facts, man. That's the way it
Facts.
happens. But that's the way it happens. You know, don't nobody want nothing that nobody else wants, man.
That's
That's
right.
it. Like, come on. But no, I'm definitely happy for the kid. He is well deserved, you know, to go out there, especially at camp. Because I feel like at camp, every kid that steps out there is trying to like put that absolute best foot forward. And so
Right.
for him to step up to the plate, man, and exceed all expectations and man, earn that offer, that's big time. Congrats on that.
Big get, I think, for Alabama. 6'1", 230 pounds. Great coverage on Bama online. Andrew Bone right in the middle of that, our buddy. A 4.54 40, and was starting to really get a lot of momentum, but went to the 7-on-7 camp and killed it there. And Alabama obviously was like, hey, we need this guy, fits in with us, fits in with our culture. And they go ahead and make that move. Now, I'm going to save my favorite of the group to the end because I'm so glad that Bama got EJ Crowell. But let's talk Mack Sutter. You were excited about this guy, right? He commits to Alabama, 6'5.5", 225-pound tight end that can play basketball, that can do a lot of things athletically, including run a 4.6 40-yard dash and an 80-inch wingspan. And he comes to Bama over Ohio State and a bunch of other schools. You like the big guys for some reason.
Absolutely. You know why, Mick. You know why.
I do.
If you got a big ass tight end, put him on the line. He part of the run game, baby. And you know that kid standing at 6'6", 250, whatever he is. That's a big ass kid, dog.
Who's the biggest tight end you played with at Bama? Was there somebody that you liked being on the line with you guys?
Oh man, I had some. I played with some big ass tight ends. Like Mike Williams was huge. Mike Williams was pretty big. Brian Vogler was big. Like these guys, like, because I'm every bit of 6'5", 6'6", so they like 6'6", 6'7". You playing tight end, you know what I'm saying? Man, definitely those two come to mind for sure. OJ Howard was tall, but OJ was more of that athletic build. You know, he wasn't brawny, but OJ was a hell of a tight end, man. I'll never forget that Clemson game he had. For whatever reason, they just decided not to cover my guy. Coker made sure he didn't miss him that one time.
Golly, man.
Hey,
It
you
was
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Hey, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I definitely have to say Big Mike and Brian Vogler. They're two of the biggest tight ends I play with. But man, I just feel like when you have a really good run game, tight ends are a part of it. You know, because they make the play action that much better. You get a big tight end like that can get down in the trenches and get nasty, get muddy with them, then come out the backside, you know, for a little play action catch. That's huge. And I watch the kids clips, man. They even split him out wide, and he's like running past kids. He's just like that kid is a freak, dog. At 6'6". And that's a huge pickup for us for sure. Because I'm hoping he
It
can come
also
in right
shows,
away.
and it also shows the national appeal that Alabama football still has, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, you're talking about we definitely knew that Bama needed to lock in the state and you know the guys that grew up Alabama fans. You want to get
Right.
those guys, right? But how about the guy that just is a great football player that comes from an NFL city or area, and it's like, hey, you know, come down here, like, hey, Illinois and Ohio State and all this. You come to
Yeah.
Alabama, and it's like, this is football heaven.
I think somebody told me one time that Alabama is like football Disneyland. And I think that's the best way to put it. You know, and especially for me because I wasn't really around big time football that much, and then I go to Alabama and there's like nothing I could want for. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
everything's there. All you gotta do is ask. It really is football Disneyland. Man, they used to take recommendations too. Like if it was something that we wanted and they didn't have it, they'd be like, let us research it, give us a day or two.
What did you want? They didn't have. I know you got something on your mind.
I mean, with me, it was probably some food related. It was probably
Something
some
on the
food related.
perimeter that they didn't have there.
Yeah,
When
man,
you
being
when you shop the
detained.
perimeter, you don't your choices kind of get like this on taste. You know what I mean?
They do, and you know, if you want to maintain that taste, you got to pay a little money because man, steaks get expensive.
I know.
Steaks because you get chickened out, you know. Yeah, but yeah, but dog, I'm excited about the tight end pickup. I really am. It's just because I think he's going to add that extra element to the run game. Um, and we've always had good tight ends.
Yeah.
Like we've always had good underrated tight ends, and so it's big
I
time.
loved Irv Smith, man. Like that was one of my favorite all-time Bama tight
Hey,
ends right there. You
Irv was
know?
dangerous. He was a mismatch nightmare, dog. Just because like you didn't really know, like you couldn't look at Irv and be like, "Oh, tight end," because he wasn't the biggest, right? But Irv could go. He could go and he could fly. And just even watching him with the Vikings before he was dealing with injuries, man, like he was out there, he could fly. And but yeah, A good one there.
One of the all-time greats. All right, last guy on the recruiting, and then I got some other stuff I want to get your opinion on. EJ Crowell, we got him. We got him. I wasn't sure, and you guys were hitting me hard. And then all of a sudden, I noticed On Three updated their story and said Texas is coming in with the cash. Like they're like, hey, you didn't see Bones come? Like, look, I know Bone. I love Bone. Like that's his deal. But sometimes I hear things too. And I'm telling you, Texas is trying to buy away our guys, and they tried to buy him, and he's worth it. I mean, look, he's going to be worth it. He's a 5-star running back. From Jackson. I think you got to nail the guys in state. You got to nail the guys that grew up Alabama fans. He talked about that, watching Bama on Saturdays, dreaming of being the next TJ Yeldon, our guy, being the next Derrick Henry, being the next Mark Ingram, and wearing that uniform and running out of the tunnel and being part of the tradition that is Alabama football. I would have hated to see him go to Texas over dollars. But I'm in this world too, man. I get it. Like if the money's that much better, you got to go where the money is sometimes. But I'm glad that whatever happened behind the scenes worked out where he's going to get to go to his dream school because it's a dream for us to have him.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like we were talking about last show, dog, like hometown heroes, the in-state guys, we got to keep them because it's a lifestyle here, Mick. That kid, he go to Bama. At this point, he can go to Bama and not even play a snap, and he's a Bama legend for the rest of his life. Like, that's just how much it means to people in the state, man, and that was huge keeping him, especially because we want to revamp the run game, and the kid's an absolute monster. He's a monster. Like, if you watch his tape, there's nothing that he can't do. I think he's an all-around back.
He's explosive.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'd even give him some Alvin Kamara.
I see that too.
Like he has it. He can do it all. And so that's huge. We got him to stay, man. And I think that's some of the biggest things that people can't undermine. The board is working on our in-state kids. He's working to keep our in-state guys, and I think the staff is doing a good job of that, even with the money being thrown around. They like when kids like that buy in, man, it makes you really feel like, all right, we got something going good. Like we're building something. And it's like all hope's not lost because Saban's going right. Like the culture is still headed in the right direction. People are coming in, they're seeing what's going on, and they still want to be a part of that. Man, like that's Alabama football, man. That's tradition. That's deep rooted tradition, even before Saban, And so that's exciting, man. I'm happy to get that guy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And there's not a lot of us Gillespies out there, but Robert Gillespie, one of my cousins, I got to appreciate him so much for being a great recruiter. I remember him as a running back at Florida, and I'll be honest, I always pulled for him a little bit, even though we're slightly different in the last name spelling. We got a guy that watches every day named Len Gillespie. We're all cousins somehow, us Gillespie.
Nice.
So I saw where Coach G did a great job of recruiting on this one. This is a big win for Alabama. Because we've talked about it. This is a show me what you can do year recruiting in state for Kalen DeBoer and his staff. And so far, you're beating Auburn, you're beating Texas money for some really big time players. Tank Jones, we want to see him get them. Sedarian Morgan, want to get him too. Jones from St. Paul's down, Jake Coker School, and Morgan from up there at Benjamin Russell. These are two big time players. We'll kind of keep an eye on that. But right now, A pluses for Coach DeBoer and this recruiting class, which all of a sudden now you turn around and they're starting to close in on that top spot again, which is the way Alabama football rolls.
I'm telling you, man, they keep recruiting this way. They keep building that team, that structure that works for them, that got them to the national championship with Washington. Like it's gonna work out for them. I'm believing in what they're putting together, man. They've shown me it can work. Year two, we got to make it work in the SEC now, and so I'm excited about what's ahead for us, man. Just because people have had so many doubts, and they just keep stacking. They just keep working. They just keep building. Like the team is forming like no other. And like we said, not losing any guys in the spring portal, I think was huge. I think was huge because that culture is starting to set in. We're starting to build something. Kids are starting to bond to something bigger than themselves. They're getting that money for sure, but it's about more than that right now. I feel like there's some kids that tasted defeat last year and it kind of woke them up a little bit, and
Right.
now they're hungry, and they're hungry, and so I'm on that campaign, Nick.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm with you. All right, let me switch gears here, guys. I want to tell you we're presented by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Timeout Sports Lounge, a Vegas style sports book that you can play right here locally. So an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. A lot of you guys go over and hit the sports book. It's in Golden Moon Casino, 20 big screen TVs, kiosk, table, the window. I mean, they give you all the help you need, and it's a fun place to hang out. They got everything you need over at Pearl River. All right. You remember Steve Spurrier. He goes back to my day at Alabama. Beating them in 99 twice was a big deal. He's one of the all-time great coaches. He said this to Pat Dooley, according to Brent McMichael, about Arch Manning. Most people taking Texas to win the SEC, they already got Arch Manning ready to win the Heisman too. My question is, if he's this good, how come they let Quinn Ewers play all the time last year and he was a 7th-round pick? Woo! Because I thought the same thing. And even in that game against Ohio State, I'm like, what? Bring Arch in. You cannot tell me this is the best y'all got.
God damn, Steve, stirring the pot here, man. Hey. Man, I say things and people crucify me for saying it. But I said, even when Arch was coming out of high school, I was like, who is he playing? I was like, he looks like a 7A high school football kid playing against 3A talent. And I was just like, the Manning name will do a lot for some people now. That is a huge name not to overlook. And I don't see it, man. We just putting whoever in the Heisman race this year, aren't we? We just betting on whoever. What put Arch in the Heisman race? Like,
well, you said it before. It's a 2-year deal,
right?
But he's got the one thing that you need, and that's the name recognition. I mean, how about when Texas was in these championship games and stuff, or the playoff? They had the media day. Ewers got like me and you standing in front of him. And then Arch Manning, the backup quarterback's got like 50 guys around him. Like he's like Tom Brady or something. The guy's like the backup quarterback. They won't even put him in. They put him in the game to like run like an option. Like they didn't let him throw the ball.
It's crazy, man. I can't get behind that. I'm with Steve on that one, dog, because like what is Arch proven? Like what has he proven to be rated so highly, to be talked about so highly? Like let's get back to kids having to earn the praise, dog. Like let's get back to that. I mean, like let's stop praising name, let's stop praising stars. All right, he was great in high school per se, but what has he done in the SEC? It's just like nothing. And
We'll see. I mean, he's going to have some weapons around him. He's going to have a good team.
Yeah, I'm gonna wish
we'll
him luck because he in a hungry SEC this year. He's in a hungry ass SEC. In Bama, I'm standing on Bama. Bama's coming back with a vengeance, man. They're hungry. Man, I'm taking Ty Simpson over Arch. Shit. If we just throwing people in the Heisman mix, hey, I'm going Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is my dark horse. If that's what we doing, I'm looking at a Mac Jones X type season here.
Ooh, I'd like that. And congratulations to Gabriel, his brother. Got a Bama offer, another quarterback, 2028. So congratulations to him. All right, last thing before I get you off the show. I talked about this the other day, but I got to get your opinion on this. College football, 26, EA Sports. You know the game. I know the game. They got Tiger Stadium and Beaver Stadium as the 2 toughest places to play in the game. Ohio State 3rd, Georgia 4th, Bama 5th, Clemson 6th. I'm looking at this list and I'm like, okay, Tiger Stadium and Beaver Stadium shouldn't be 1 and 2. My opinion. Now, you've been there. You've been to some of these places.
I'll agree to LSU being top 5. I'll even agree to LSU being number 1 because I swear to God, if you're in that stadium at night and they really get to going, it's like the fucking ground starts to shake. Like everything just gets wavy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little mini earthquake going on. And so I'm cool with LSU at 1. It's just like, and anybody that's experienced LSU at night, they'll understand. But Penn State at 2, what are we talking about here? You know, Mick, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Man, Bama, I'll keep Bama. I'm putting Bama over Penn State as toughest places to play. It's just like, what are we doing here? Man, who has Penn State beat at home to earn that type of tough place to play? It's just like who have they? And don't we talk about him not winning the big games anyway? Oh, man.
Yeah, we do. We do. That's the funny thing
about
about
it. You got to stop me, Mick. I was going to go on an angry,
the funny thing is like
tangent.
Somebody that's behind the scenes there must be like a Penn State grad. Happy Valley hasn't been a tough place to play since the 80s, man. When Joe Pa was there. It's been a long time since Penn State. Anybody looked at Penn State and goes, "Okay, well, that's just going to be a tough place to play." You're right. LSU is loud, and but Jalen Milroe ripped through them like a hot knife through butter. Maybe it was just because I've seen Bama go down there and whoop their ass year after year after year. I don't know why, but Bama has always run Baton Rouge. Now. With that said, I want to ask you this. Were you there for the game, the A.J. McCarron, the T.J. Yeldon game? Were you on that team or was that before your time?
Nah, I was on that team. I just wasn't good enough to travel with the team yet. So me and my grandparents, we just went to the game as fans. You know what I'm saying? Like I put us some tickets in at will call and we drove down, man, and got to the game. And I'm fucking Bama'd out. Like I'm Bama geared out. Everybody think I'm a fucking recruit or some shit. Man, I'm just like, nah, we finna whoop y'all ass. And I'm sitting there, man, and I'd be damned if that was one of the best games I've ever sat and watched because I'm telling you, man, I'm basing my whole ranking off that one game alone because I'm like, I shit you not, we're sitting up in the stands, dog. And they get to going crazy, and it's just like the shit just start waving. The bleachers start waving, man. And I'm just like, dog, this shit's insane. And then just the disgust on everybody's face when TJ catches that and takes it in. And, I just kind of sat there because I'm with my grandparents. I ain't want to start nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I cheered.
I don't know what would have been worse. Them getting mad at you or dealing with all those fans, those crazy rabid fans.
Yeah. And, man, that's a hell of an atmosphere. I can't lie.
It is. I agree. I've had some great times down there. That game, though, I was watching it on my couch. I had my son who's pretty tall now. I mean, he's gotten taller. He's a big kid. He's a little baby. He was sitting on my lap, and I'm watching. And when TJ scored, I'm running around the living room with him like he's a football. He's getting yelled at, like, "What are you doing?" And he's laughing, like holding him up. Like I couldn't believe it. That's seriously one of the greatest comeback wins in school history. That was a great one. So all right, we'll sit it there. I think Bryant Denny's definitely top 5. We've got to do better with the student section sometimes on showing up and making noise. Yeah. Sometimes people that have tickets for a long time don't want to stand up. Look, you got to make it a tough atmosphere. Okay. They're all drunk down there in Baton Rouge and rowdy and mean. And, one of my friends, Catfish, who comes on and does shows here, said that an old lady gave him a middle finger.
Yeah, see, I love that shit, man.
She just was like, boop.
Bama done won a little too much. We didn't got a little bougie in our success, man.
Yeah, I
We
agree,
didn't
man.
just got bougie. And, we got to get back to my favorite Bama game all time is when Terrence Cody blocked that kick against Tennessee.
I was there. It was great.
That was one of my first recruiting trips to Bama, and honestly, if it wasn't for the Miami-Florida State game that exact same year, I probably would have committed to Bama that day.
Wow.
It just like I got to see some crazy games in my lifetime. But Bryant Denny used to just be so outrageously ratchet and just crazy, and it'd just erupt at any given second. Like nobody gave a fuck about nothing. Like everybody was locked in. It wasn't no cell phone show. It just like you could literally hear a pin drop when it got quiet, and then your eardrums are damn near burst when the roof came off, and then
Yeah.
Cody blocked that kick. Man, I'm just like, oh my god. It was immaculate, and so we need to get back to that.
Yeah, I should. That's a great transition to New Life Art too, because Rocky Block's one of the all-time great prints that Daniel Moore did. And you guys, you want to pimp out your man cave? I've got Gene Stallings right up there, and that great defense, Brother Bill Oliver's defense from '92. A lot of great prints available. You want the big ones, the small ones, mugs. You got calendars. You got all kind of really cool stuff at newlifeart.com. 20% off when you use our promo code Bama Tailgate. When you get there, hey, I heard it on the Bama Tailgate show. And then when you're checking out Bama Tailgate, click that, write it in the box, the promo box, and you'll get 20% off your entire order. And then finally, I mention it all the time, we're presented by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. You guys are ready for a great weekend. They got you covered up there. Best slots in the South. I'm promising. There's lots of casinos around. I'm telling you, these guys, they got you covered on the slot game at both Silver Star and Gold Moon Casino. And there's a pedestrian walk that goes from one to the other. So you get there, you don't have to go far. You can have a great steak at Philip M. Steakhouse. You can go to Mom and Them's restaurant, which is awesome. The sports book, we talked about that. The spa, if you need a little work done. The water park, take the kids out there during this heat wave. Geyser Falls. We got comedians and concerts, all that at Pearl River Resort. And we appreciate them so much for being a part of what we do here every day. And I know you'll love it when you guys go over there and check it out. Shank, you have a great weekend, man. It was always fun talking to you, and we'll get back at it early next week.
Absolutely. You have a great one, Mick. Hey, roll Tide forever.
Roll Tide.
To Pearl River Resort.